You check your inbox, right? And there's like another glowing reply to your newsletter. You post a video, you get a dozen great comments.
Yeah, but then you look at your calendar and there are absolutely 0 sales calls booked.
Exactly. I have lived in that exact gap. It's like throwing up this fantastic dinner party where everyone happily eats your food, compliments the chef, and then they just leave.
You look at all those vanity metrics, the likes, the replies, and you think you must be doing something completely wrong.
But you aren't. You're just missing a crucial bridge between, well, attention and trust. And that's the nurture phase. Today in this deep dive, our mission is to figure out exactly how to turn an audience of fans into an audience of buyers, drawing entirely from our own years in the consulting trenches.
Because earning a like simply means you've earned attention. Having an engaged audience feels like the finish line, but I mean, it's genuinely just the starting line.
Right. Premium clients don't buy on impulse. They spend weeks, sometimes months, collecting evidence to see if you can handle their real vulnerabilities.
Okay, let me push back a bit on this idea of vulnerabilities. If I hire a plumber, I don't need them to be vulnerable with me.
Sure, yeah.
I just need the pipes fixed, right? Why is premium B2B consulting any different? Aren't these clients just, I don't know, waiting for the right price or for their Q3 budget to open up?
Well, think about the mechanism of risk here. A premium client isn't just paying an invoice for like a quick transactional fix. They are handing over their internal workflows, their strategies,
their whole revenue engine.
Exactly. Maybe even exposing their own teams and competence. So if you screw up, they don't just get a leaky preep, they lose their job, or their company just bleeds cash. They need absolute certainty that you will hold the line when things get messy.
Right. So they're constantly scanning for evidence that you're a safe bet.
Yes. And I've found you have to provide that evidence through your content. But doing that without burning out, it requires a framework. In my own business, I break this down into like 3 pillars of nurture.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first is consistency. And I don't mean, posting 5 times a day. I mean reliability. Showing up on a predictable schedule over the long haul proves your business is operationally stable.
Well, yeah, because if you can't even manage a consistent weekly newsletter, how on earth are you going to manage their complex internal workflows?
Exactly the point. And that transitions naturally to the second pillar, which is specificity of value. Writing so precisely about a niche issue that the client reads it and thinks, how are they in my head right now?
Oh, that's huge. But, competence alone doesn't equal trust. Proving you're stable and competent gets you in the room. But what actually closes the deal?
It's the third pillar, purposeful vulnerability. And to be clear, this isn't about crying on camera or oversharing personal trauma. It's about sharing the scars. Instead of just posting, here's a 5-step Q3 audit, you say, 2 years ago, a botched Q3 audit almost cost me my biggest client. Here's the framework I built to ensure I never make that mistake again. You're proving you live the problem.
That is the exact mechanism that shifts you from being a respected expert who studied the textbook to a trusted insider who survived the trenches.
Precisely. Now, everything we just talked about, the content, the specific posts, that is purely the public stage of nurture. But in my experience, there is a whole private layer happening behind the scenes.
Like the intentional DM responses, the thoughtful email replies.
Yeah, or the follow-ups when someone downloads a resource but goes quiet.
Which immediately raises a capacity issue for me. Like, how do you do that high-touch private engagement without letting it devour your week? You can't just live in your DMs.
Right, you can't. The secret is leveraging automation. I use a back-end system to handle the consistency. It triggers the welcome sequences, delivers the lead magnets, tracks the clicks. The technology does the heavy lifting so that when a flag goes up, I can step in personally.
So the system creates the space for the human touch.
Exactly. It manages the timeline, so when I do send a private message, I actually have the energy to make it a highly intentional, customized note.
So here's a challenge for you, listening right now. Pull up your last 30 days of content. Look at it critically.
Right. Ask yourself how much of it could only have come from your specific journey.
Exactly. If any other consultant in your field could have written it, you haven't hit that purposeful vulnerability yet. Write what is unmistakably yours.
That's where the real trust is forged. And I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. We've talked entirely about building new trust today, but what about the old?
Oh, interesting.
Think about the people who passed on your services 6 months ago. What if they aren't gone? What if they were still lingering at that dinner party we talked about, just waiting for a private human check-in from you today?
Wow. Yeah, a single intentional message right now might be the only evidence they need.
It's something to think about. Next time on this deep dive, we're taking all this established trust and moving to the final step, which is convert. See you then.